Action 2 News at 6. The woman who stabbed her classmate a decade ago in order to please the fictional horror character known as Slender Man is now asking again to be released. Now 22-year-old Morgan Geyser filed a petition today asking a Waukesha County judge to grant her release from the Winnebago County Mental Health Institute. It's the third time in 2 years that Geyser has made the request for release. A previous judge denied her last request in April, saying she remains a risk to the public.